your girl Mina Mendoza. Let's get that again. And it's your girl Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, queen of spice. We here. I'm Tanner, giving real island girl vibes. Island girl vibes. I learned a new Gen Z word. The new word when you want to say copy or getting things done is boots. Boots. So you're gonna catch me saying that a little bit. But yeah, guys, I just got back from Puerto Rico. It was a beautiful trip. Again, I recommend anyone who haven't gone to please go. It's just such a beautiful island, such amazing, kind people. And honestly, that's what this episode is going to be a little bit about. I feel like every time I go to Puerto Rico, it's always a different experience. But definitely, like, if you ever never gone to the island, do yourself a favor and just book that trip because it's so beautiful. But before I start the episode, I want to go ahead and give a couple shout outs. Just because this event is coming very, very soon. But shout out to Professor Knox. Yes, shout out to Professor Knox. He's going to be having an event on July 31st. Thursday. It's going to be in Newport, New York. The Queen of Spice, your favorite Spice Girl, is hosting the event. It's going to have some dope artists, vendors. It's just going to be a vibe. Like, it's all about bringing in culture and, you know, combining communities and talent together. And it's just going to be amazing. But yes, come through. Thank you. Come through July 31st. It's free, by the way. But just come through. It's actually going to be, if you want to look for the address, look for it on my, it's going to be like a black and white post. You'll see it. But yes, let me look at the check-in right now. Hey, we got Slick Nick in the building, period. Shout out to Ghost, always showing love. But yes, guys. So come through July 31st, Newport, New York. Shout out to Professor Knox. The event is called Hidden Gems. All right. So I guess one thing that I have special for y'all is I'm actually going to put a clip into my episode, but I'm going to like do it towards the end as like a little treat. But I want to let y'all know that this is the first time we're kind of doing this on IG Live. We've done it on YouTube before, but you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to show y'all because it's something different. But going into this trip, I'm just going to go into it. So me going on this trip was a little bit different because I went on it with a whole bunch of my friends. Also, shout out to El Haj. You were definitely missed throughout the whole trip. We love you so much. If I had $1 for the amount of times we said your name on this trip because you were missed, we could have bought the whole island. Now, let me stop. I'm not buying the whole island, but we could have bought a house on the island. But for sure, it was all my friends. And then even more friends because there were some other friends that were heading to Puerto Rico as we were leaving. So it was just the vibe to be with my friends again. And these were like my work friends. So every time we were on a trip together, it was always because of work. So this was the first time that we all went on a trip and there was no work. It was just us doing our own thing. So shout out to Ya. And also shout out to Nicole. Because if it wasn't for Nicole hitting me up that day at 8:30 in the morning, my ass would have not been on that Airbnb or that flight. That ass. She called me at 8:30 in the morning because I wasn't going to go, friends. I was not going to go. Mind you, I'm going back to La Isla in August. So I wasn't supposed to go, and Nicole just comes out of nowhere, calls me at 8:30 in the morning. And that's how I knew it's something important, because she would have texted me, but she called me. And when she called me, she's like, hey, I can let you stay in my Airbnb. Just book your ticket. I was like, are you sure? Yo, I booked my ticket in less than 15 minutes, and I was out to Puerto Rico. Shout out to great friends. Friends, you need friends. You need real great friends, because you can have friends, but then you have friends that need you to have fun or need you to feel more happy in their lives. And that's what a friend is. Like, you know, like it's not the need, but it's like, I want you there, you know, and it doesn't feel complete without you there. And that just shows that you have a special place in their lives. So it's just like when you have friends like that, that like care for you like that, that care for you, sharing that moment with them, hold on to those friends. Those friends are dope friends. And I'm grateful to have the type of friends that I could actually say are my family. So I love you. All right. Let's talk about, what can we talk about? What was one of the first things we encountered on this trip? Because I feel like every time we go to Puerto Rico, something crazy happens. Um, well, one, I had some friends that were already there earlier. So that was cool. We kind of got there a little bit late. I remember our plane landed at like 2 a.m. So we went straight to the Airbnb. I remember we were knocked out, but the minute we woke up, it was like business. It was like me and Nicole were like, let's do a compra. And that's something, okay, so that's tip number one in Puerto Rico. If you're staying in an Airbnb, right? The best thing to do is do a little compra. Don't get me wrong. There's things that are gonna be available to you, but you're gonna notice that at nighttime, if you're living in an area where Uber Eats is not as accessible like that, or not is just not as easy, you're gonna find yourself in trouble for like those singular things, like that bottle of water, that quick sandwich to make. No, that as. So like do a quick comprita. Like shout out to Supermax, open 24 hours. I love that supermarket. They have Walmart, but I don't think the Walmart is open 24 hours. So shout out to Supermax, because we shout out only local things. But you'll see that supermarket on the island and it's open 24 hours. We went there. Buy your case of water, buy your bread, buy your turkey, buy like all those little essential things, And also like make sure too, guys, that whatever y'all do, especially if you're taking Ubers or anything like that, that you're like tipping your drivers. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna see when you get to like Puerto Rico, the fees for Ubers, I wish we had those fees here. Yo, when I'm telling you that shit, like, I don't know. Like, Marv, take a guess. How cheap you think will be the 12-minute ride, 12 to 15-minute ride in Uber?
$10? 15?
Less.
Less? Wow.
Less.
$5?
Like $4.
Wow.
It'll be like $3.96, $3.50. So it makes you think like, damn, like if I'm getting charged this amount, which is a deal, how much are the drivers really getting paid, So I know like it doesn't seem a lot to give an extra like $5, $4, $3, lo que sea. Please tip your people, because like things are so conveniently cheap at the island that it's easy to like forget to treat the people that actually live there. So that was one thing. Uber rides are crazy cheap. So we Ubered a lot in places, but also if you're gonna stay in the island, do rent a car. I do recommend, like, if you're gonna be staying at least for a week, rent a car, because there are Ubers in places like San Juan, Carolina, which is more of like the city area. But once you're like out, it's kind of harder like to get that Uber. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like one time there was one night we ordered McDonald's. Yo, that shit said it was gonna get here at 2:15. We didn't get that McDonald's till 3:20 in the morning, and it wasn't because they were late. Like here in America, they be on some lazy ish, and I'm gonna just say it like that. Like they be doing some scams. Like you got Jordan saying he's coming through on a bike, and then he comes through in a car with two people in the front. Like that's the shit that like low key here be doing. Over there, they're taking long because, they're on island time, and also the Bad Bunny concert is happening. And you'll notice that right now, Puerto Rico has a huge influx of people, like crazy. So when I ordered that McDonald's and I saw that it was late, I only accepted it because one, they're making money, which I'm very happy for them. But two, I knew that it was busy because not only are there a lot of people in the island, but I'm sure a lot of people in the island are ordering McDonald's at a late hour, just like me. So the food is just going to come when it comes. So I remember it took like an hour and 15 minutes just to get a Big Mac, fries, and a drink. So do keep in mind, friends, that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be on island time. Maybe the gas might come on a little bit slower. Maybe it only heats at a certain heat. But I promise you, the food is always worth it. The food, the experience, it just comes with the island, Another thing to look out for is being accepting of certain things that happens in the island. Like, we have to understand that because there's such an influx of people And sometimes we forget Puerto Rico was just hit with a wild ass hurricane. I believe it was called Hurricane Maria, but they were just hit with a wild ass hurricane literally like not less than 5 years ago. Or no, it happened like in 2018, and there's still some parts that you can still see the impact of it. So be more graceful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are some times in the island, depending on where your Airbnb, where the water is gonna go out or where the light is gonna go out. That's just kind of like part of island life, like to have an extra set of candles, or just knowing that your water is gonna go out, but it's not gonna go out for the whole day. It's just gonna go out for a certain time of hour. So just be mindful of your Airbnbs, because like the people that are owning those Airbnbs, they're not doing this on purpose. This is a problem that is out of their control completely. So what I mean is just being like, just gracious, like more graceful when these things do happen, because like it's really out of their control. So just understand that in certain parts of the island, depending on where you are, that is going to happen. And it's not your Airbnb person's fault. So just be mindful where you're booking. Not all Airbnbs has a extra water reservoir tank. And I'm going to just say it, that shit happened to me. So luckily, what was dope about my friend's trip is just that where we all were staying, it was like the Mina block, yo. Like Nicole was staying here,
Ew.
Penny was staying here,
Ew.
Steph was staying like a block away.
Ew.
So every time we met up, it's like, yo, let's meet up at Tomate, which was a dope little Mexican restaurant in the corner. But we were all like walking distance to each other. So there was a point, Penny's Airbnb was one of the Airbnbs that kept losing water. And I remember the last day before I was gonna leave, I'm taking a shower and the shit wasn't even on for like 2 minutes. I'm taking a shower, I have mad shampoo in my hair, and the water went out. And mind you, I gotta go to the airport because I just was at the beach. So I had to drag my ass to Nicole's house like a block away with shampoo in my hair just to take a shower. But I learned to like accept it. I wasn't upset. I was just like, okay, what can I do right now to fix this situation? Because me complaining to the Airbnb guy is not going to fix it. So luckily, shout out to Nicole, letting us use her shower. But that's another thing. Be mindful of island time and be mindful of things that come with the island that is out of their control based off things that have happened in the past, like the hurricane and blah blah blah. So just be nice to your people there. They're doing the best they can. Yo, my cousin, shout out to Yeka, she's in the check-in. She's like, you got so dark. Of course, girl. Yo, that sun was beaming every day. It was beautiful though. But I don't play. I got dark, but I was putting that sunblock on every hour. Like, every hour. So, that was the one thing. All right. I got to get my timeline out because there was a lot of things that came out, and I want to make sure that I talk about it all. All right. So, I guess must-see spots and food recommendations. So, one place that I recommend everybody to go to, shout out to 787 Coffee. Also, shout out to Ren the Writer, who was a guest on my show 3 years ago. His mural is still there. He has a couple stickers around. You'll see Ren the Writer, straight from Brooklyn. But he did a beautiful mural. This is a coffee shop. It's like caffeinated human in Puerto Rico. They have a couple spots in New York, but shout out to 787 Coffee. Delicious coffee. Get the tres leches with regular milk. They got like also coffee infused liquor beans, like whiskey and rum. But I shout out to Nicole. She put me onto the regular one. But shout out to 787 Coffee. The people there are so nice. So nice. Do get there early, but also keep in mind that it gets busy. Island time. Also, down the block from there, shout out to City Bistro. Yo, those breakfasts are so good. But I do recommend sharing a plate with someone because, yo, they're big-ass plates. Big-ass plates. Oof. One restaurant, if you're in Old San Juan, a restaurant y'all have to go to, shout out to El Punto. Yo, this food was so good. And like, to me, it's just like things that we take for granted, like clean Spanish food. I remember I got like a grilled chicken, rice, salad, beans, but it was like so simple and so good. Like 10 out of 10. Shout out to El Punto in Old San Juan. Also, shout out to La Princesa. I think that was Old San Juan, but that was more of an upscale restaurant. That restaurant was also very beautiful. I feel like the interior restaurant was very beautiful. But one thing that I gotta say, don't ever pass out, don't ever disregard the little kiosks. Like, you know, people in those little shacks, because, yo, that's when the food be, like, good. That's when the food be really good. My favorite are los kioscos of Luquillo. Yo, shout out to Luquillo, yo. It's like a strip of kiosks, but it's all, like, I think it's, like, 86 kiosks, and it's all different foods. And it's so good. And, like, you see the price difference, and, like, do yourself a favor, get out of San Juan. Like, when I was in San Juan, an empanada cost me, like, $5. I'll go to Luquillo, I'll get an empanada and a capuria, 2 types of empanadas, and that whole plate will be like $12, and I'll have 4 things in there. So you'll notice that when you get out of San Juan, the prices are also a little bit better. But again, what I say, if things are cheap, take care of your people, tip them. Just saying. So definitely go out to, like, the kioscos. Don't be afraid to try food in a shack, yo. Like, that shit is slapping. And also, you're supporting someone's, like, business, like, you know, really supporting it. I'm not saying that, you know, don't go to, like, established restaurants. But you see what that word, established, meaning it's already established. Like, they're already going to be making money. So think of those little shacks of people that aren't as established and are... this is their way of income. So, like, think of it like that. Like, your money goes so far there. Like, definitely go there. Also, shout out to Cache Hippie. That's in Diosa. Yo, that restaurant will give you a whole ass bikini bottom red snapper. When I'm telling you, we had a table and it was all like red snappers. Wild. And that's like the first time I've learned how to eat a fish again from scratch. There was like bones in there. And when you go to that restaurant, what's cute is they have these little cangrejos, like little like crabs, and they're just like walking around on your feet. And like, I always wonder that, like, the whole island is infested with these little like crabs. They don't bite you. They're so cute. But it's interesting. Like, I was like looking at the floor and I was like, yo, why does the floor look like it's moving? And then I'm like, oh my God, it's little crabs. It's little Mr. Crabs everywhere. So that was also really cute about that place. But definitely get the red snapper there. And like I said, support your local shacks. Trying to think of like other places that were really, really good that I do recommend to eat. But it'll come to me. All right, let's keep this show going though.
What was the best food you had out there?
Oh, the best food I had out there, if I had to think that as the best food, it would have to be el food in El Punto. It was so clean and good. And what I love about El Punto is that the first time I was trying to go there in June, because I was just in Puerto Rico in June. I'm Puerto Rican right now. That's how I feel. But when I went there in June, like when I'm telling you it'd be on like island vibes, I remember the restaurant closes at 10 or at 9, and I was trying to go at like 6:30 or 7, and they ran out of food. Like, for the day, you know, not for, like, the restaurant. But that's how it be. I got there. They're like, yo, that's it. We ran out. I'm like, what do you mean you ran out? And they're like, that's it. And I was like, oh, my God. So that's another thing. Get there early. It's not like here where we have, like, mass consumption of things. Like guess what? That red snapper you've been wanting to order might be out. And then you have to order a 10-pound red snapper. Because that's what happened to us. I was trying to get a red snapper that was like usually like $25. But because they ran out, it was like a heavier red snapper. So she was like, I remember she came back to the table. She was like, listen, this is going to be like $100. Now let me stop. It was like $10 more. But, you know, you'll see that things run out. So if you want something specific, go early. Just saying. Hey, shout out to La Penny. Penny, I'm going to put the clip of Roberto. Shout out to Slick Nick, too, because she was there. It's going to come on, I think, Marv, let's do it at like 7:50. 7:50 we'll put it on, so stay tuned. Also, if y'all got a question that y'all want to ask me. Because I want to answer some questions. El Punto was dope. Hey, shout out to Phrase by Joshua. Let's go. Hey. Yo, shout out to my boy Joshua, past guest here, beautiful photographer. Also does short films as well. He was just in the chat on IG, so definitely, you know, give him his flowers, check out his work. Really dope artist. And yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for showing love to the Mina Mendoza show. We gotta get you back here. Oof. Oh, another shout out that I want to do is a guest that I'm gonna be having on Saturday. Shout out to Moon World. I'm gonna be doing a show on Saturday. It's gonna be something like a little different, but shout out to Moon World. He's gonna come through. He actually did my pictures back in May, and we're gonna do a little shoot. So you're gonna see some pictures, some more content. I know I say that word, and I gotta get better at it, and I am. I'm doing one today. All right, dime que lo que. Yo, tell me why my friend's name is Penny, and this guy was like, Pernil? He called her Pernil. Mind you, she's Muslim. That's just crazy. All right. So let's get into it. All right, so another thing, I guess, like, when I think of, like, all right, let me ask y'all, anybody in the chat, what are your top 3 things to do in your trip to Puerto Rico? I'm going to give my 3 top things, but y'all people in the chat, put down your 3 top things that you need to do in Puerto Rico. 1, El Yunque Rainforest. If you have never done it, it's been a thing that I want to do El Yunque Rainforest every trip to Puerto Rico, but unfortunately Penny is such a fucking travel hazard that, like, I don't think I could go with her in the rainforest. That girl will fall and break her legs, like, and the trip will be over. So unfortunately we couldn't do El Yunque. No, I feel like I will have to bubble wrap her, that ass. But go to El Yunque Rainforest. There's like water slides, there's cliff jumping, rope like swinging. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be a luxurious hike. Like, you're gonna be in dirt, dog. You're gonna be like sweating because it's not like it's cold. Now, what's nice is that the water is fresh water. It's not like beach. It's fresh water, so it's like super clean. But it's gonna be a hike. You're gonna sweat. You gotta wear like comfortable biker shorts. Like, you know, always think of safety too. This is not a place that is a race to get there. Like, animals in the rainforest. One thing that's really cool, there's no mosquitoes in the jungle at all. No mosquitoes. So that's something that y'all could be grateful about. You don't have to put bug repellent to mess up the ecosystem. There's just no mosquitoes. When I saw animals, honestly, I didn't really see that much because, like, they have trails, and I think because there's trails, they kind of avoid the people. There's fishes in the water, that's for sure. But I didn't really see a lot of animals. But one thing that's dope is, like, the plant. Like, they have, like, a flower, like a leaf, that when you touch it, it's like a natural Venus flytrap. It's pretty freaking dope. And then also, another fun fact about El Yunque, a long time ago, I don't know what part of Asia, but a part of Asia came to Puerto Rico and they planted bamboo. And I don't know if y'all know about this bamboo. If you ever want to get back at your neighbor, just plant a little bamboo in there, because once you plant bamboo, that thing is like, it just spreads like wildfire. And the maintenance on bamboo to cut it is so much money that they just left it in the rainforest. So you see natural bamboo, like large trees, because they were like, you know what, that's it. So that's something that got embedded into the rainforest. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh shit, like, this shit's really out here. Scoop. All right, so we got some people that beach with boat on the sand. Oh, you're talking about Crash Boat. So I've never been to, shout out to Jay, since I haven't seen you in a while. So Crash Boat, I'm going in August, so I can't really speak much about Crash Boat, but that's in Aguadilla. I'm going to be on the west side of the island in August. So I don't know, you talk to us about Crash Boat. What was your favorite experience in Crash Boat? I know you do a lot of like pier jumping. That's pretty dope. But for me, definitely number 1, gotta do El Yunque. Number 2, I would say, if it's your first time, definitely visit Old San Juan, because there's a lot of history there. Like, it's like where you're going to see the cobblestone roads and those beautiful pastel buildings, and you see a lot of, like, it's just different, you know. But you also look at that and then also get reminded of, like, the colonization that happened, because in beginning Puerto Rico was just an island of taños, like, just, you know, natives, like indigenous people that was part of that island. So what happened, and the reason why it has those pastel colors and cobblestones, is because when Spain came, they were trying to make it look more like Spain so it could appeal to people more. So you look at it, it's very beautiful, but it's also very sad because it makes you think of like how the buildings used to look and what they took down. But it's interesting. You go there, you go to El Moro, there's like castles of war. Don't go to La Perla, okay? Respect that part. Leave that to the Puerto Ricans, yo, that ass, because that's something I've been seeing. Because I get tempted. But La Perla is literally like a little part in Old San Juan that, you know, a lot of natives live, but a lot of people tend to go down there. You might get robbed. You might get jumped. There's like signs everywhere to respect. So it's just like you could see La Perla, admire it from up top, but, you know, leave that to the people. So I will say that. So I will say visit definitely Old San Juan, go to El Yunque Rainforest, and then my third must-have do thing to Puerto Rico. Like if you were stuck there for 3 days, I would say get yourself out of San Juan and drive to the west side of the island. Like do an excursion out there. Like I would definitely say check out, like again, Luquillo. Check out that area because it gives you more of that local like life and what to do. One, don't go to a casino in Puerto Rico. I saw Penny lose $500 in a half hour. Like, that was the most stressful thing I've ever seen my friend do. We went to the casino thinking that, ooh, we're about to win money. We're about to be rich. Yeah, that was the most anxiety I felt throughout the whole trip. I thought that the people were ganging up on my friend because she kept losing money. I'm like, yo, that's it. They're trying to steal from her. I had to get out of there. My friend was explaining to me that that's just how it goes.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, straight up the whole time. All right, so, okay. Let me ask a trip. What's your travel red flag? Oof. Travel red flag. In general, like traveling red flags. Okay, one travel red flag is looking at your bill. Look at your bills. I know things are very cheap, but like, you know, I do notice sometimes they try to sneak a little something there that's not there. So like always look at your bills. We actually had an experience in Puerto Rico. We were, shout out to Pizza City. That's also another spot. Yo, I had the best chicken sandwich. So good. That one is in Isla Verde. So I went to a spot called Pizza City, and this was like a late night spot, and I was pretty tipsy with my friends. So I don't really remember this, but I remember the bag of M&Ms. So supposedly some lady passed by to buy like candy, and Penny decided, you know what, I'll buy the candy. And then she was like, how much for the bag of M&Ms? The lady was like $5. And we're like, damn, all right, whatever. So Penny gives her the 5, and the lady is like, no, but buy 3. Like, what? Yeah, give me 2 more 5s. And this is like that type of shit. It's like, damn, like, you want, I'm giving you a hand and you're taking my whole arm. Like that type of vibe. Like that's like is when it's not cool. So like, learn to bargain. Bargaining is nice, but learn that some things are just not meant to bargain. Help out, but also know when you're getting abused. What's another red flag for me? You know, that's just like one of the main things, because I feel like those are like things that are out of your control that you could easily overlook. And that's one thing that you can easily overlook is a receipt. Like, they even do that here. I say that's a red flag here. There's so many times I've paid for things and I've double tipped because I didn't notice that the gratuity was included. So like things like that, like just always pay attention to what is it that you really, really owe. I don't know. I'll think of it when they come though. All right. Let's keep this going though, because there's been a lot of things that I feel like have happened. And like I said, my Puerto Rican stuff is gonna come out definitely for sure. But one thing that I want to talk about, there has been like a lot of touching, like shocking news this week. I feel like this was the week that like a lot of like icons just died. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness. Like, yes, Mina Mendoza is a very, I love all genres of music. I love hip hop. I love rap. I love Spanish, salsa, reggaeton. But I also love rock music. I grew up listening to Black Sabbath. You know, I know they weren't part of a band anymore, but I also like Ozzy Osbourne on its own. I think, and I grew up watching the Osbournes, yo. The Osbournes was one of TV's first reality shows. Sharon, like that's like iconic, like, you know. And like my favorite scene from that show, it was like there was this scene and it was just like, you know, Ozzy Osbourne just comes out of this room completely wasted, and he was like, someone's been in my room drinking all my beers. And you got Sharon like, who drank all your beers, darling? You're the beer thief, darling. Like, yo, he comes out the room and forgets that he drank all his beers and says someone stole it. Like, yo, like little things like that. Like, the Osbournes was so iconic. Like, the best scenes was when like Jack is trying to teach him how to use the remote control for the TV. And mind you, he loved the History Channel. That was the only channel he used to love to watch. And he goes like, it was like this giant control of buttons. He was like, all these buttons just to put on this channel, there should be a blowjob button. Like, you know, like little things that was iconic. Like, so rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. He literally just did a concert with Black Sabbath like a couple weeks ago. So, you know, rest in peace to that legend. Also, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. He actually died today. I wasn't a big wrestling person, but I do remember like who he was. Hulkamania, like he had like a franchise. It was like orange, yellow. He also had a reality show with his family for a little bit. But he was like, you know, only in his 70s, but he also passed away. Also, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, you know, he also passed away. And I actually want to talk more about his death because he passed away in Costa Rica. It wasn't like of old age. Like this was like an accident. So he passed away in Costa Rica. It was a drowning accident. Rest in peace to him, but also grateful that his daughter who was with him survived. And like, I do want to talk about like the safeties of like the water, that ass. Like, and I grew up going to the beach since I was a child. Like I learned how to swim in the beach. That's one of the best things that I love about my growing up with my father is that he was very big on going to the beach and he just would always take me with him. So one thing, I don't think Costa Rica has beaches, but I think it was like something in the water, like something happened. Don't fight currents. You know, there's always currents in rivers and beaches and stuff like that. Don't fight them. Swim with them. Okay? That's the best thing you could do because when you start to fight a current, like your heart starts accelerating and you're not going to be able to think clearly of what to do. You have to be calm and you have to allow the current to kind of do its thing. And then once you find the moment, you swim. But don't fight the current because you're going to get tired. You're not going to go anywhere. 2, just like know what's your limit too. Like there was a point where we were at the beach and we got kind of far out. And, you know, I stayed calm and we were able to swim back. I had an actual recent situation in Luquillo. So this was like the first time that I ever like snorkeled. And like I bought like snorkeling gear and I was like watching fishes. I was a little tipsy though, I ain't gonna lie. So I was in Luquillo, you know, doing my thing, being the little mermaid and shit. Spicy mermaid. So I'm swimming and shit, right? And I'm like in my own world. Mind you, my friends are at the beach, they're drinking. And yo, I got scared because, mind you, I'm in my goggles, right? And I'm swimming. I think I was snorkeling for like a good 45 minutes. Yo, when I looked around and noticed that all I was seeing was miles and miles and miles of ocean. And then I looked down and noticed that the floor was dead ass 15 feet away from me. Yo, I put my head up because, mind you, I don't got like an oxygen mask. I put my head up and I noticed that I literally swam away from where the people were. But one thing, yeah, straight up. And yo, mind you, I'm in the end of this water coral reef and I'm like, yo, I'm about to scream for help. I swear to God, no cross fingers counted. I'm about to scream for help. But I told myself, yo, if I scream for help, my friends will never let this down, yo. They will never leave me alone for this. And I was like, yo, I gotta do it. I remember I stayed calm. I put one foot on the coral reef to lift myself up, to put the snorkel in my mouth, and I just swam for dear life. I got to the pier. My friends had no idea what happened. I was like, guys, I was gonna die. I was gonna die and scream for help. And mind you, there's no lifeguards. It's like, who the fuck is gonna help me? Like, yo, if my friends come and help me, they'll drown too. So yes, be mindful, guys. Like, the ocean is a different world, and I learned that when I was snorkeling. Now I'm like very conscious of how and where I'm swimming, and always remember to put my head up. But that was a scary. It was beautiful. I saw fishes that I've never seen before in my life, but you gotta like respect what you're doing. Don't take it for granted, you know. But yeah, that was crazy. And also rest in peace to all the legends that have passed away. You know, life is very short. So one thing I can say is, because life is very short and not guaranteed, make sure that you do what you can while your time here. Hang out with your friends, make those trips, work, but also give yourself off to enjoy life a little bit. Like, I would be pissed if I work so hard every single day and like I can't tell a story about me traveling the world or having a memory of me traveling the world. So take that PTO. Please take that PTO, okay? Take that PTO. Yes. All right. Another thing, I gotta talk about it now. All right, so one dope ass experience that we had happen. I'm not sure what night it was, but there was one night that me, Penny, and Nicole went to La Placita. So, excuse me, it was actually the night that we got the McDonald's. So tell me how we're going home, right? My friend Penny is not Spanish. Like, she's Albanian. Nothing wrong with Albania. We love Albania. We love all worlds, by the way. Everything. But the thing is, like, shorty can't speak Spanish like that. So she orders the Uber. And one thing about Puerto Rico is you'll notice that when you order Ubers there's pins. Like, you got to be ready with a pin. Like, if you don't have your pin ready, you're not going to take the Uber ride. And it's more for safety and precaution. So, like, Penny had a pin, right? And in the pin, she tries to say it in Spanish. She'll tell me how the guy was like, English, please. English. Like, stopped her right there. And I don't know if Penny got offended. And mind you, it was raining. I don't know if Penny got offended. Penny looks out the window and she goes like, esta noche me travesura. And like, mind you, we're like, what the hell? So it got quiet. And shout out to Roberto, yo. He just puts that song on and we're like, oh shit, da-da-da-da-da-da. And out of nowhere, the car's like it was like, I don't know, shout out to like my people, but if y'all saw Cash Cab, y'all gonna see this. So we're gonna play some clips of it and then I'm gonna talk about it afterwards. Shout out to Marv making these clips happen. We do this at Bravery Studios. So y'all gotta be in a moment with us. So in this moment, we're in an Uber ride. It's me, Nicole, Penny, and Roberto. Yo, Marv, play that. Let's go. Si tiene micrófono,
I got you. I gotta put on the flash. Oh my God, that's amazing. Go. Ew, it's your girl Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, Spice. We out here live in Puerto Rico. Who we with?
It cut, but shout out to Roberto. Yo, that ride was everything. And the thing is, if you hear in the clip, because my man put on the music, he put on the lights, and I literally say in the video, I'm like, in Spanish, I was like, if he pulled out a microphone, and then you see it in the clip, he pulled that microphone out, and when I told you Mina Mendoza came out of my body, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm live, and shout out to Penny. I love her natural, like, reactions to life. You just hear, like, in the back, like, this is amazing. That's why I love my friends, yo. I love my friends. Yes, shout out to Roberto, yo. Roberto, I hope you watched this clip. You made that the best Uber ride for us. So dope, so dope. So grateful for you. Please, if you drive in Roberto's car and those lights come out, give him 5 stars. Tip him $20, dog. That trip will be awesome. Yo, we asked them, like, yo, you want some McDonald's? Yeah, we're gonna order McDonald's. But yo, that shit was so good. So good. But yeah, guys, that was like an amazing Uber ride. Definitely recommend it. 5 stars. 5 stars. All right. And I guess, like, to end the trip a little bit, because I noticed we only have 5 minutes left on our show, is one thing that I didn't talk about is the reason why there's a huge influx of people in the island is because Bad Bunny's residency concert. Bad Bunny's residency just popped off, I think, after July 16th, and I believe he's gonna be here until mid-September. So keep in mind, if you are going to go to Puerto Rico during these times, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of Airbnbs are being taken up, aka I talked about the water situation. So if you haven't seen his concert, it's pretty dope. Like, the amount of outfits that people are wearing there is beautiful. And like the way he starts the concert, he starts it with a house, and I'm guessing like this is a replica of the house that he grew up in Manatí. And it shows up like there's people in that house, like, doing the concert with him. And then you notice that he's able to walk up to the roof, and that's how he throws his concerts. And there's like certain parts where there's like rainforest, land life. He has like a whole orchestra come out, which is very beautiful. Like, you know, like, I never knew Nueva York was a old salsa song. I thought like he made that song. But then when I heard the original version, I was like, oh my God. So, like, Jibaro hats, all that, like, it's just really beautiful to see. And, like, I do think that Bad Bunny is an amazing artist that not only cares for the Latino culture, but, like, I feel like he bleeds, like, creatism, like, being creative, you know, and being also true to himself. I feel like I loved all versions of Bad Bunny, but what made this album so different is that he just stayed to being himself. And I feel like the more genuine you are and the more you make art based off based off of you, like, do art for you, not for other people. That's where the magic happens. And that's where I feel like, you know, it couldn't have come at a better time. And like the way how he includes el coqui, like there's a frog art animation that he includes in like Debí tirar más fotos. And like, you know, what a lot of people not know is that he chooses the coqui because that's what you hear all over the island, or you hear his little coqui, coqui, coqui. So like he's true to that. He's true to not being so fancy smancy with his clothes. It's just like, you know, like Puerto Rican attire, culture, clothing, the Jibaro hat. So I think what makes his music and his concerts so special is that he's staying true to himself. And that's what he's doing in Puerto Rico, you know. And he's smart. He's like, I'm not going to New York or LA. If you want to come see me based off America, you have to come to Puerto Rico. And I think that's amazing. He's still going to go on tour to other countries, which I want to see how creative he could take that stage to there. Like, is it going to be different? Because he did say that this residency in Puerto Rico is going to be so different that, you know, it's not going to be something that people have done. I think it's very smart. I respect him as an artist. I respect him for what he does for his island. And I'm just here for Bad Bunny, yo. I'm here for Bad... I was hoping to, like, bump into him mad times in Puerto Rico. But, yeah, guys, just wanted to share that with y'all. But definitely check out. There's still tickets, I think. Like, you can still get some. So if you can, please go. I wanted to go, but I was like, we'll see. We'll see. Anything happens. I am going in August, though. All right, guys. So as you know, I talked a little bit about my trip. We talked about a little bit of like things that were happening, you know, rest in peace to some legends. I do want to end the show just giving an extra thank you to my friends. Shout out to Nicole, Penny, Steph. Shout out to, you know, Joey. Shout out to y'all for like allowing me to go on this trip with y'all, sharing the memories. There's always a new memory with us, and I'm very grateful to have y'all as friends, like truly, bottom of my heart, side to side, and the top. And I dedicate this episode to all of y'all, you know, and everybody that's listening, you know, make that trip with your friends. Don't, because this was literally the trip that made it out the group chat. And just know that, El Haj, you were missed every single day and hour of that trip, and you're still missed now. So just make that trip with your friends, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Make that trip. Come out the group chat. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. Buy the ticket and don't look back. All right. So as you know, I am going to be filming this Saturday. Shout out to Moon World. He's going to be my guest. And, you know, we're going to keep this going. I am going to be taking my break in August. So I'm going to be doing a couple more episodes. And then I will be taking my break. But I'm coming back. We got some surprises. You know, I'm about to hit a new milestone. I'm about to hit 150, dog. 150 episodes. 150 episodes with Bravery Studios, yo. To say that, I'm like, wow. So keep an eye out for that. All great things. Everybody tuning in on IG. If you tuned in on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know, show your favorite Spice Girls some love. Let's network. Let's collaborate. Shoot me a DM. You know, let's make things happen. But that's all I got for y'all today. It's your girl, Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, queen of spice. We out of here.